Hey guys, how's it going? It's Zahait here, and we're back with a brand new episode of Shapes 2. And in the last episode, we made this system here. All I have done is rotated it 90 degrees, and that's it. That's all I did. We made this stacker over here as well, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to start painting things. And one interesting little tidbit that I have discovered is if you put a painter here and set this to be uncolored, that you can take all the color off of the shape, and then my sorting machine actually pulls the right things after that. So that was the first challenge that I had. Now after we're done that, what I need to do, and I don't know exactly how we're going to do this, it might be a little bit messy, but what we're going to need to do is kind of check if each one of these belts is already the correct shape, because if it is, then that means it doesn't need to be painted, and if it is not, then that means it needs to be painted. So I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. I've set up this situation here because I think what I want to do is if it's done being painted, I want to send it up here and just get it out of the way, and if it's not done being painted, then I want it to stay down here, and we're gonna just check each paint color. I think we're gonna check each paint color, and we're gonna see if it matches the color that it needs to be. Now, I don't know exactly how we're going to do this, but we gotta start somewhere. So we've got this system, and in fact what I think we want is the measurer. Nope, not that. I need the actual measurer. This thing? Belt reader. Now the problem is I don't have room for all this stuff, so we'll go like this maybe. And I am just not gonna have room for all of this. That can go there. That can go there. And that can go there, perhaps. Okay. So now what I need to do is check each item. Oh gosh. And compare it to the outputs that are coming here without the painter. So I wonder if we could just, you know, jank a wire right across here, because this signal is going to be unpainted. Oh, that's no good. I don't want it to be unpainted. So what happens if we rearrange this a little bit? If I take this, cut it, we put it in here. Okay, we connect that in there, and then this guy goes in here. There we go. So that should be giving me the same signal, I hope. Yes. But this side should be giving me the fully colored signal, and I don't need another one of these things. So there we go. Now this system here is converting for the top belt. So what I need to do is check this wire is equal to this one right here, which should be easy enough to do. And then we're gonna need like a bypass filter or something. Oh, how am I gonna do this, guys? How am I gonna do this? Flip it? Okay. Something like this. Equal, if that equals this, then we're gonna bypass, because we don't need to be painted. That's not bad. I'm thinking I should probably do this on the second floor, because we're gonna need this whole factory down here for other stuff. So what I'll do is we'll take this and we'll put it up on the second floor, and we can connect that in there. And do I want all of this stuff up on the second floor? Maybe not. Okay, so there's one. Now the problem is we need to do this 3 times, or 3 more times. And if they're going to be painted, then they're going to come through here. And if they're not going to be painted, then I want them to get the heck out of here. Okay, so I think something like this will work. The problem is it's not the prettiest solution. And also, I don't know if I'm going to have room for everything, because now what I need to do is kind of... Oh, geez. Hang on. Let me finish setting up all of this stuff first, because that's the other thing is I know each of these... 1, 2, this one's 3. Whoops. Okay, and then this one is 4. So now I know each of those needs to connect. Okay, this one is going to check for the first one right there. I don't know why it's not sending any signal, but I'm sure it's fine. Okay, this one has to go in 3. Is that right? 3, okay, and then this one has to go in 4. Okay, so now what should be happening is this one should be saying, hey, I don't need to be painted. So it's gonna go right on by and not get painted. This one is saying, hey, I need to get painted, and it's getting sent in here to get painted. So now I think what I want to do is get this stuff even farther away. I think. I don't know. Maybe we get it even farther away. I don't think we have enough room here right now. So this stuff, if it's done being painted and it doesn't need to be painted, then it's just gonna get right the heck out of our way. Hopefully. I don't know. I think we're gonna need more room on these other factories here. And in fact, I'm probably gonna need more room here as well. Because at some point, once the items have been painted, I need them to come back into here. So yeah, all of these belts, once it's been painted, this all has to get re-merged into here somehow, and I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. But one thing at a time. Let's figure out how we're going to deal with the painting. So what I would like to do is check each one of these belts that are coming through here. I don't think we're going to have enough room for this, guys. I just don't think we're going to have enough room. So what we want to do is check that this coming out, if I paint it with... Paint it... how am I gonna do this? Something like this. If I paint it with blue, where's my blue? I'd rather just copy this. We paint it with this. So there we go. If we paint it like that, and it is, oh god, and it is equal to this one, I think that's what we have to do. So we need this to get passed into here, and we need to check if this one is equal. I don't know what I'm doing, to this one. And if they are, then we know we need to paint it blue. So I'll have to go and set up something to get sent to a blue painter. Oh my gosh. So if those are the same, then that's going to be positive, and that is going to send, hopefully, this stuff to get painted blue. Oh man, I think I want all of this up out of the way. We need more room, right? I think we're gonna need more room. So we can take... What am I even doing? Do we take this signal up to the top? I think we just take it up all the way. We take it all the way up to the top. There we go. That didn't work. How come that didn't work? There we go. Okay, so now it's all the way up to the top. And the same thing for all of these wires, I suppose. I don't know. Connect that in there. Connect this in there. And connect this in there. Why is this saying it's no go? Why you no go? You can't go up and down at the same time? There. Okay, I think that's all working. This one also doesn't like going up and down at the same time. There we go. Okay, so we got our 4 belts coming across. Man, this is getting to be a nightmare. So each of these should be lined up with what we want out of here. And then I think what we need to do is make a little bit more room. I gotta get paint in here too, though. Oh, man. I gotta get paint in here too. We're gonna need... You know what? We only need 1 belt of paint. And for some reason, that's not where... Oh, we need a pipe. We need a pipe. We need a pipe. Pipe. 1 belt of paint. Because we can connect all of these things like that. And we don't even need this much paint. That's like way more paint than we're actually gonna need. So, okay. So that leaves me a little bit more room. We can bring this down over here. And I'm just trying to figure out how much room... What the heck? How much room we're actually gonna need, because then this belt's gonna go this way, and we're gonna have to do kind of the same thing here. Yeah. Maybe we leave a little bit more room so that I can take this over. Okay. And then we can do this same thing here. Or even here. And here. And here. That should work. Connect that in there, connect that in there, connect that in there. I mean, it's not the worst. Okay, and then if we go over, and this one is also gonna have to go over. Oh my gosh. You know what? I can move this over one. We get a little bit more room out of it. Okay. Okay, so there's the ones that have already been painted. Yeah, something like this. Okay, let's get these things out of here. These guys have already been painted. They don't need to be painted again. These guys do need to be painted if they come this way. So there we go. Those guys need to be painted. Now, before we paint them, I think we want to try and stack them, which means we're going to need our stacking factory, which means... Oh, man, I don't have room for all this stuff in here. I don't have room for all this stuff in here. Because this all has to go up here. And then that's all the room I have left to paint and stack. Which I just don't think is gonna work. Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. Again, those are the ones that don't, that do need to be painted, but what we can do is we can take them up to the top level, or at least half of them. The other half can stay on the second level. And then we can set up our stacking factory up here. Ooh, just wait. Just wait a minute. That one's gonna stack onto there. Yeah. Okay, then this one... Oh no, this one will go up one. And this one will stay on the bottom. And you'll see what I mean in a second. I think this is gonna be great. So if I... Hang on. If I copy this... Oh, no, I don't want to go up. I don't want to go up. Hang on. Where's my... Turn off the layer stuff above. Okay. We're going to send this under here. This guy's gonna go there. Then we're gonna put all of our stackers. Oh, this is gonna be good. We'll put all of our stackers in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna also need to wire bypasses in here, but we can worry about that after. Let's just get this part set up. So that is gonna go, and from there, you know what? From there, do we just go straight into another stacker? That could work. Right like that? So then the output can either go into here or... Oh, that's not great. That's not great. Okay, let's delete that. What I need to do... I'm trying to think... I think I'm trying to do too many things at once here, maybe. Or maybe I'm not trying to do enough at once. I don't know. So what I want to do is have two of these systems, but at different levels. Because the output of this one is going to be the top of the next row. Yeah. So that should work. So this output is going to be the top of this one. These are not on the right layer. There we go. And the output for these guys, which I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do this yet. I think like this. Then the output for these guys will be the bottom. Okay. And then that means these guys are going to go into here. And those guys are going to go and get painted. Hey! That's not bad. And then I guess instead of putting blue paint, like hard coding this, we could, I think... Where's our pipe? Where's our pipe reader? We could put this guy right here. And then what it should do is just read the signal. Ooh, wait a minute. Read the signal directly. Okay. Now we still have to wire all this up. But I think that one's gonna go in there. And it is going to run this guy. And we can probably tighten this up a little bit if I X that. We go there. We can tighten this up if I do something like this. Copy that. Okay, I think that should work. So if this thing comes in here... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. We're supposed to be checking... Hang on. I need to break this. I need to check this thing. And if it is equal directly to this one painted blue, then we're good. So we'll take this one, we'll run it in here. And then what we'll do with this one is paint it blue. We need to get the signal first. And then we'll paint it. Signal. Let's flip it. And we'll paint it blue. Here's our blue signal. And then if, you know what, let's get this over here because it's going to be in the way otherwise. Then if that signal is equal to this one, then we should be able to power that and say Oakley Dokley. Okay, so bad news. It looks like that thing that I was trying to use is actually just a valve, and it doesn't read what's in the pipe. So we are gonna have to go back to using wherever the heck this thing went. We're gonna need one of these guys after all, but it's not that big of a deal. So we should be able to just hook this up. And then maybe rather than like running it all over the place, I can just, whoop, I can just put one of these on. I'm just gonna clean things up a little bit. I mean, the signal's never gonna change from blue on this factory, so you know, we can just do that, and do that, and then we don't need any of this stuff. Whoops. So the one thing that is gonna mess up is when I go to copy this now, I'm gonna have to make sure I go and change each of those buttons, which is annoying, but I think it's gonna be fine. And what I just realized is since this top belt is coming out of this belt, I should be able to just mix that one directly without even thinking about it. I should be able to just, hang on. I need to move that over one more, I think. Okay. And then this one can connect right into there, because only one of them is going to be full at a time. Oh, this is kind of getting gross, isn't it? How am I going to weave these belts back together? Okay, you know what we can do? I can leave a one gap space between each of these. And then what that should allow me to do... Dang it, it's not actually gonna work. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Because what I can do is jump this belt right over top of there. Perfect. Then this one will just run right on through. This one I want to connect into there. This one needs to connect into there, but this one can just jump over. Maybe this will be fine. So we'll connect these. I don't want to connect that in there. Okay, like that. And then this one needs to jump over those guys and connect with this one. So that's not the worst. Okay, and then we can just connect those two together. There. Okay, so that's how that part's gonna play out. And then the only thing I haven't done is put a painter in here, which is not that big of a deal. Let's get a painter going and then set the bypass. We're gonna need a bypass as well. So painter, first of all. Where's painter? Painter, and we need 4 of these guys with some paint. So how do we want to do this? I'm just wondering if I want to flip this around. It might be better. Let's just see what we can work here. So I'm gonna need some paint. Let's get the paint down here. And then where am I gonna put these things? You know what? If I flip this around, Is this gonna be okay? 3, 4. I guess that's good. You know what we could do? I could put some jumpers in here. I don't know if I even need to. Like, I don't know what I'm hoping to gain out of this. Just having more jumpers. Okay, so then somehow what we need to do is get this output into these belts. Sorry. Uh-oh. Oh no, this is not great, is it? Somehow we need... You know what? I can mirror this. And then we'll only have one thing like that that we have to worry about. Okay. Something like that. Alright, alright, alright. Now, this can come out. And come out. And then all we gotta do is get the paint in here. This guy... Where does this guy go? Somehow we have to connect it somewhere. Uh-oh. And the problem is, which one do we connect it to? I'm gonna need more wiring to figure that out. But for now, let's just get the paint set up. If I run this paint up... Uh-oh. Do we want to go all the way up? Maybe we go all the way up. And keep it out of the way, because we're gonna need wiring down on the other floor. And we'll see where we can get this to fit nicely. We need to connect this paint into all of these factories somehow. Okay, so there it is. Our painting machine. Yeah, I mean, that part's fine. Nothing too fancy there. Now, somehow, we're gonna need bypass. And that... I don't know how we're gonna deal with. I might need to move this out of the way for now. Take it and... You know, let's just plunk it over here out of the way. Maybe I should have dealt with the bypasses first, because there's gonna be a lot of wires required. Okay, so this first stacker, what we need to do is see if this signal here is null. So, if null, then we need to send this one out and around. So we're gonna need a splitter. And I don't have a good spot to do this. Maybe we do it like that, kind of. We'll just flip it. Okay. That'll go back in and that'll bypass. So that means what we want is if this is equal to null, then that will be true. And this one is gonna go right on by and go into the bypass. Okay, so that's perfect. But I do need to wire it up like that. Okay, so now what we need to do is check if this one is null and then send this one into the bypass. So we can take that and do this. And if this equals null, maybe I'll move it over one so we don't get that weird error. Now, if this one equals null, we want that to be false. If it's null, it'll give me a green signal. And it's not going to go in the bypass. So I need this to be a NOT gate, I think. So we'll NOT it. We'll NOT it right up. And then that guy should go in there. And then this guy will go into that bypass. So there we go. That's not so bad. Okay, I think we've got all the bypasses figured out. So these ones are checking... Hang on, let me turn some of this off. I got one checking if this one's null, one checking if this one's null, one checking if this one is null, and this one I'm actually stealing from over here because it's checking the same thing. If it's null, it's null. It doesn't matter if I check it here or here. And I probably could have done that a couple more times just to save on a few of these tester things, but I mean, whatever. They're not taking up any room, really, so it doesn't matter. And I've got it set up so that if any one of these belts, if the pair of it is null, then it's going to bypass right into the output. So here, the stuff goes this way, and if it's null, like this one is, green means it's going to go straight into the output. Up here, not being green means it's going to go straight into the output. And then up here, not being green means it's going to go into the output, and being not being green means it's going to go into the output. And then no matter what, we're getting some stuff and it's coming over here and getting sent into our painter. Now I don't really have anything to paint right now, so I'm kind of not sure if I want to copy this whole thing to all of these floors or how this is going to work. And I realize oh no, I realize now I've made a huge error, and I've already determined here that things needed to be painted. So that means here, if they don't need to be painted blue, then they need to continue down and get painted some other color, which means I actually don't need any of this part. And I do, instead of sending these things up, I need them to continue through, which is going to be a huge pain to fix right now. Oh no, what have I done? Okay guys, I think I fixed it. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but we'll see how it goes. Now, the only thing I'm missing, I guess, is I need to get the paint connected somewhere over here. Okay, the paint is hooked up. Good. I think all of that's working. So now what we're doing is we're checking to see if the item needs to be painted. If it does, we are sending it over here to get stacked so that we only have to paint one belt of stuff. And then we have a whole bunch of bypasses set up so that if it doesn't need to be, or if it doesn't need to be stacked, then it'll just go on through. I don't know if it's gonna work. There's only one way to know for sure. And we are going to have to just plunk it in here and see what happens. So now, the item that doesn't need to be painted, there isn't one. Wait a minute, why is it going up? Oh, hold up. I forgot to change, I gotta invert all of the signals. Every single one of these needs to be a NOT gate now, because it's sending them if it needs to be, if it does not need to be painted. So I need to find a way to invert every single one of these signals, and that is not going to be super pretty. Okay, I think we've done it. Now let me try this one more time. Copy, pasty. Now, those items that need to be painted should continue down this way. Hopefully. There they go. Okay, there they go. Now what I need to do is copy this factory 2 times, and we're gonna have to change the color on each of these buttons, which is very annoying. And I probably should have set this up so that I only needed to change one button, but here I am. Okay. They're all set up. So now what should be happening is we needed a green circle, so we should be getting... Was it green circles? What the heck's going on here? We should be getting green circles. Wait, no, I didn't finish connecting all of these things together, which is going to be a bit problematic. Hang on. How am I gonna do this now? Oh no, this is the worst. Now I gotta either go back and change all of my buttons again, or I gotta rewire all of these on every single one of them, which neither of those options seems very great. Why is that not working? Huh? Oh, did I put these on backwards? I think I put these on backwards. Okay, there we go. So now we are sending shapes through. And this one is actually green. Okay, hang on. So I might be able to just copy this third floor. Maybe, with a little bit of luck. Because nothing up there should be changing. Come on. It won't go. You won't go. Oh, if I go down a level, it will. What is that? Is that gonna break everything, or is it just gonna work? I don't know if that's breaking everything or not. Okay. Connect all of these together. Oh my gosh. And then what we're gonna have to do is connect this straight across. Little bit annoying, but it is what it is. And then these guys are gonna have to go straight across. Okay. Now we're making the green circles. That's what we wanted. Let me get a trash can set up. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do stuff with this. Here's my trash. Okay, so that should all be working. This doesn't need to do anything spectacular right now, but at some point we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna merge these belts back together. Which is not terrific. But at least our painting system, I think, is working. I don't know what's gonna happen when we start getting into the, like, weird colors, but I mean, this looks appropriate. It's bypassing, and then it's bypassing again. That looks great. I don't know. It seems good. Now, somehow up here, we're gonna have to figure out what belt to put it back on, and I guess all I have to do, I think, is just check if a belt is empty. And if it's empty, then I can put stuff on it. And if it's not empty, I can't put stuff on it. And I think we're going to want to do this on a 1x1. Because every single time we have a paint factory, it's going to have to be the same kind of checks that we're doing. So really quick, let's just see if we can get this kind of system figured out. All we're doing is measuring each belt. And I think we're going to want some room. We're just going to measure each belt, see if it's null, and if it is, then we can use it for storage. If it's not, we can't use it for storage. Pretty easy. Okay, and I actually don't have to check this last belt at all because one of them has to be empty or it's not going to work. So that should do it. I'm just wondering, maybe I can tighten this up a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Tighten that up a little bit more. And I really would like all of these to be in a row. Just because I can. Just because I'm a little bit anal. And let's do that. Get some wires. And do this. Okay, connect that, wires, bingo, bingo. Okay, so if the belt is empty, it'll be allowed to go in. If it's not empty, it will have to go around, and then once it gets to the top, I mean, one of them has to be empty, so there is that. Now what we can do is copy that to those guys. And we don't need whatever this is right now. Let's just move it. I don't know what it is anymore. I can't even remember what that was for. My brain is fried. And then all we gotta do is connect these guys in. And we're almost done. Our first layer. We're almost done our first layer. So now these green shapes. Oh, hang on. I forgot to connect this in to all of our paint factories. Okay, So there we go. Now we should be getting our green shapes in... What? Oh no. Oh no. That means everything is broken. Okay, you know what's going to be even easier than that? Let's just copy this factory one more time. Okay. Now we're getting our two shapes. Yes. Okay. That's fine. We knew it was going to be a little bit janky. Okay. So that's going to be good. Now we're getting the shapes. And at the end, all we got to do is merge them together. And that's it. So we just need this factory, I think. And that should be making us, hopefully, the shape that we need. Hopefully. I believe. Let's see what happens. That should be it once we get all this stuff down there. Oh my god. We're doing it. We're making the shape. All I gotta do now is get a storage. Just get a storage. Get a storage. And a train. And a cart. And a cart. And then hook this thing up to our hub. Hey, look at that. I already have a spot we can hook it up to. Hook this thing right up to our hub. And we're pretty much done here. We did the thing. We're making the piece. So there it is. That should work for any 4-piece shape on the bottom that doesn't require pins and doesn't require crystals. That's easy peasy. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. I don't need that. I was playing around with a new stacker idea, and I might still play around with it some more because I'm not really happy with how this factory looks. It doesn't need to be that janky. In fact, for how small our stacking system is, actually, with the bypasses, I could probably fit it on a 1x1. But for now, I think it's fine. We'll leave it alone. That is looking good. We're making ourselves a full belt of the 3rd milestone, I believe. Level 3. Yeah, okay. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. How many is it? 1,000? Not even a problem. This thing will be full in no time. Guys, here comes our delivery. Woo! Oh, look at that. We did the thing. All right, now we should start making this shape. There's no paint required. Actually, there's nothing fancy about this shape at all. So our machine should just start working away. And let's see what's going on here. It looks like it is working already, which is perfect. So everything is working as intended for one layer anyway. Now I think what we're gonna have to do in the next episode is kind of just copy this factory, this factory. I think we're gonna have to copy this. Well, not that part, but this part 3 more times to get 3 more layers. And then add over here 1 more stacking part. And I think we've done it. I don't know. I may be underthinking things, but I guess we're about to find out. I'm gonna have to figure out how we're going to actually get this to work properly. I don't have a ton of room for all these belts, so we'll have to see how that goes. But that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. I hope you are loving the series so far. Let me know what you're thinking of my mam so far. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out, actually. It's not bad. I wish I could do more belts, but it is what it is. At least it's working. So we'll see what we can do. Guys, I hope you're loving it. If you are, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and I will see you next time.